Hello and welcome. This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We are live in Abuja. I am Chinenye Moye. Do not forget that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at www.nta.ng/live and on all our social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Payments to indigenous contractors being owed by the federal government for projects executed are expected to commence from Monday next week. Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu, in a statement, says this followed a resolution reached by all parties after a marathon meeting that lasted 4 hours on Thursday in Abuja. This brings to an end to the standoff between the federal government and indigenous contractors of Nigeria who staged the protest at the Federal Ministry of Finance, Abuja, over delayed payment for capital projects executed in 2024. As chairman of the House Special Committee on Budget Implementation, the Deputy Speaker convened an expanded meeting with the contractors, numbering more than 80 across the country, with the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, Wale Edun, the Accountant General of the Federation, Shamsuddin Ogunjimi, and other top government officials in attendance. While payments to the contractors are expected to commence from Monday, Kalu also announced subsequent meetings later this month to evaluate progress. He said the leadership of the Association of Indigenous Contractors of Nigeria expressed satisfaction with the resolutions reached and have pledged to discontinue the protest. Barely 4 months after the devastating floods wreaked havoc in Mokwa, another tragedy has occurred. This time, it's boat mishap in Borgu area of Niger State, which claimed the lives of about 32 people. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, in a statement, said the federal government, through the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, will provide the necessary support to the Niger State government to ensure prompt relief and assistance to the victims' families and survivors. The minister reminded the people to always prioritize safety when traveling on the inland waterways, insisting that no one should embark on both journeys without wearing appropriate protective jackets. The federal government has also directed the National Orientation Agency, NOA, to mount a massive nationwide sensitization campaign to raise public awareness on safety measures when using inland waterways. INEC has released the final list of voters for the November 8 Anambra State governorship election. With the conclusion of the continuous voters registration exercise, the number of eligible voters stands at 2.8 million. INEC assures new voters in Anambra State, as well as those who applied for transfer or replacement of their lost or damaged permanent voters' cards, that their cards will be ready for collection well ahead of the governorship election. Meanwhile, on new associations seeking registration as political parties, 19 more letters of intent have been received by INEC, bringing the total number to 171. The Forum of North Central States says it is pleased with various economic and security reforms undertaken by the present administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu under the Renewed Hope agenda. The party chairman commended the president's milestones in areas of economic diversification, floating of the Naira, security, removal of fuel subsidy, and various youth and women empowerment programs.
Various states, including the PDP states, they are so happy because the allocation they are getting now is about 3 or 4 times more than what they were getting. It is because of the bold step taken by our leader, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for the removal of the oil subsidy and the floating of Naira.
And at the same time, when we are talking about insecurity all over the country, it's not peculiar to North Central states. And we can see what the government is doing by combing every nook, cranny, and corners to ensure that these people are pushed out. So with God on our side, it will soon become an issue of history. Thank you.
The North Central leaders of the party appeal to Nigerians to continue to support the various economic initiatives for accelerated recovery and growth. The commemoration of the birth of Prophet Muhammad holds deep religious, spiritual, and cultural significance for Muslims around the world. As Muslims across the nation and the world mark this year's Maulud Day, they are expected to take a moment to reflect on the profound spiritual and cultural importance of this revered occasion. Hawa Gimba reports.
Maulud, also known as Maulid al-Nabi, commemorates the birth of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, who was born in the city of Mecca in the year 570 CE. For Muslims, this day is not merely a remembrance of history, but a reaffirmation of the timeless values that the Prophet exemplified: compassion, humility, justice, and unwavering devotion to the message of peace and unity across Nigeria and the Islamic world. Maulud is observed through prayers, lectures, recitation of the Holy Quran, and charitable acts. It is a moment of spiritual reflection and an opportunity to draw closer to the teachings of the Prophet and to recommit oneself to the path of righteousness and service to humanity.
The best way to celebrate is to see how you can emulate and take him as a role model. The Prophet ﷺ, he never celebrated it, but scholars, they say it is something that they can celebrate.
While practices may vary among communities, the essence of Maulud remains the same: a celebration of light in an age of darkness, a tribute to a man whose life continues to guide and inspire billions. As Muslims celebrate Maulud, they are tasked with remembering the values of peace, tolerance, and mutual respect that are the true legacy of the Prophet Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him. Hawagimba, NTA News.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has congratulated the Muslim faithful as they mark the birth of Prophet Muhammad. In a congratulatory message, Akpabio admonished Muslims in the country to emulate Prophet Muhammad's life of peace, love, and service to humanity, and prayed that the auspicious occasion brings peace, joy, and blessings to the great nation and the world at large. In the meantime, the Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, has urged fellow Muslims to use the occasion of Maulud to reflect on the virtues of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. In a message to commemorate the birthday of Prophet Muhammad, Senator Barau described the noble prophet as a role model to all and urged Muslims to reflect on his virtues and teachings of compassion, peace, and support for one another. In the same vein, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, expressed optimism that despite Nigeria's socio-economic challenges, the country has the potential to prosper if the leaders and the followers abide by God-given principles as outlined by the Prophet Muhammad. Congratulating on Maulud, marking the birth of Prophet Muhammad, Speaker Abbas urged the Muslims to live by the example of the Holy Prophet, exemplified by holiness, forthrightness, discipline, and service to Allah and humanity. In her message on the occasion, Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, has called on Muslims to sustain their prayers for peace, prosperity, and progress of the nation. She says, the commemoration of the birth of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is a time to reflect on his exemplary life of humility, compassion, forgiveness, and devotion to Allah, and a reminder for all to embody these values in their daily lives, showing love, kindness, and unity to one another. Similarly, the Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Malam Lanre Issa Onilu, has extended warm greetings to the Muslims across the country on the occasion of Maulud, while calling on all Muslims and Nigerians to uphold the rule of law and unify for peace and development of the country. He urges Muslims to imbibe the spirit of forgiveness and draw closer to the noble life and teachings of the Prophet, which remain a guide for peaceful and upright living. Issa Onilu also says that unity among Nigerians remain a vital weapon in the fight against insecurity, stressing that when citizens stand together and actively support security efforts, the nation is better positioned to overcome violence, restore peace, and build lasting stability. The University of Ibadan and a certificate in civil military coordination from the Martin Luther Agwai International Leadership and Peacekeeping Training Center, Jaji, is also an associate of NIPR, a member of IPRA, and an associate of CIPN. In the meantime, the Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, has urged fellow Muslims to use the occasion of Maulud to reflect on the virtues of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. In a message to commemorate the birthday of Prophet Muhammad, Senator Barau described the noble prophet as a role model to all and urged Muslims to reflect on his virtues and teachings of compassion, peace, and support for one another. And Lagos is our first port of call on Nationwide, and Hingino is standing by to bring us the next set of reports. Okay, we'll take a break here. Nationwide continues in a moment. Do stay. Many thanks for staying on. The safety of every human being centers on the environment and food security. This brings about healthy living. This is the thrust of 36th inaugural lecture of the National Open University of Nigeria, delivered by Professor of Nematology Department of Biological Sciences, Monioluwa Omolara Olaniyi. The lecture, which discussed managing plant-worm adversary, safeguarding the environment, chronicled the lecturer's decades of reserves that negligence of human activities in the environment threatens health, food security, and good living.
Managing plant-worm adversaries, sustaining the environment, ensuring our food is secured. As human beings, you have a success today. Don't rest on your words, because another problem must surely surge. We appeal for larger laboratory accommodations in our faculty, for perennial electricity so that we can work even after close of work. We request for funding to run analysis of our water quality. I can assure you that with what we have, Vice Chancellor Sir, we can become a diagnostic center that even the federal government can partner with us and say, go to the National Open University of Nigeria and have a clearance of the goods that you want to export, because we trust their export.
She has told us, when you have an adversary, what do you do with it? Deal with it.
The lecture marked academic milestone of the professor to formally present her research to the academic community and the public. To nurture the next generation of entrepreneurs who will create jobs rather than seek, the National Senior Secondary Education Commission, in partnership with the Industrial Training Fund, has trained 100 senior secondary students across the FCT in a 2-week long vacation skill acquisition program. Beyond classroom learning, the program equipped the students with practical skills ranging from coding and robotics, catering to ICT and craftsmanship skills that can open doors to self-reliance and business opportunities. For many of the participants, it is a step towards becoming job creators, ease the burden of unemployment, and contribute positively to their communities.
2 weeks The sound of drills, hammers and bubbling pots replaced the usual classroom chatter as young Nigerians rolled up their sleeves to learn practical skills that could shape their future, from tailoring to plumbing, solar panel and CCTV installation, to catering and culinary arts. The training offers wide spectrum of opportunities. Among the trainees is Chidi, a budding plumber with a smile of discovery. He explains how the training has introduced him to the basics of installing and repairing plumbing systems. For him, it is not just about pipes and fittings, rather creativity, problem-solving, and a pathway to self-reliance.
The training I've gotten from this 2 weeks program, even after my school or while even in school, I can be using it to help myself and also to help and encourage other students in my school to embrace and be enthusiastic about skill acquisition.
I would like to enlighten other people on how to also do the catering and culinary dishes, and I would like to set up my own business.
All these things that they are finding abroad over there, we have them here. We have the resources here. So that's why we are transferring the knowledge that we are having from now to the other generation.
We give them personal projects of which they carry out, and even during that project, they were able to do everything, both coupling, dismantling, maintenance, and every other thing.
The organizers believe that the success of this program proves what is possible when government institutions and stakeholders come together with a common vision, equipping young people with tools for sustainable livelihoods.
We feel during this long vacation we can select them, choose the skill they want to learn, partner with ITF that has all the facility for them to pick a particular skill, and learn, get to know about it, and then see how they can practice it to be either self-employed or even decide to, help themselves or help other students who are not able to be here.
This era of innovation, what we are doing, we are catching these students young, inculcating skill and acquisition into their knowledge.
At the closing ceremony, certificates of participation were handed to all the trainees, along with a call to become ambassadors of the skills they have acquired, expected to not just transform their lives, but also contribute to national development.
We'll now go over to our Maiduguri Network Center, where Ladidi is standing by with the next set of reports on Nationwide. Hello, Ladidi, you're on.
Maiduguri, glad to have you join us. Borno State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has made significant strides in the fight against illicit drugs, recording hundreds of arrests and seizures between January and August 2025. Pauline Kujufana take a look at the situation and effort to combat the menace.
Drug abuse and illicit substances continue to eat deep into the fabric of the nation. Here in Borno State, the consumption and sales of these substances remain alarming high, a situation linked to the lingering Boko Haram insurgency, as dealers supply insurgents who purchase them at inflated prices. Figures released by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA Borno State Command, reveals that a total of 479 suspects were arrested between January and August 2025, comprising 466 males and 13 females. The command also seized a combined 578.1 kilograms of assorted hard drugs, including over 396 kilograms of cannabis sativa, 76 kilograms of tramadol, 48 kilograms of diazepam, 28 kilograms of Exol 5, 8.6 kilograms of retinol, and over 13,000 milliliters of codeine syrup.
There is a strong nexus between drug abuse and criminality, particularly violent crimes. If we can contain issues of drug abuse by 50 to 60%, then definitely we will be on top of the terrorists. Do their activities to the BRS minimum.
Among the exhibits seized was also cash of about 8 million naira, 1 pump action rifle, 1 double-barrel gun, 1 locally made pistol, and 1 ammunition, further undermining the link between drugs and crime in the state. Despite these breakthroughs, the NDLEA says it is intensifying operations and community sensitization to curb drug abuse and illicit trafficking across the state. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
Muslim faithful in Borno State have joined their counterparts of the world over to commemorate this year's Maulud celebration, the birthday of the noble prophet of Islam, Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him. Abubakar Muhammad Musa report that the event took place across Maiduguri, the Borno State capital.
This year's Maulud celebration marked 1,500 years of the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him. The occasion in Maiduguri attracted thousands of Muslims from across the country and beyond who gathered to offer praises and prayers to the noble prophet of Islam, in addition to extolling his exemplary lifestyle. Islamic scholars took turns to describe the life, sacrifice, contributions and other outstanding characters of the Prophet and urged the Muslim community to emulate his attributes. They advised youths to avoid all kinds of criminal activities and seek for Islamic as well as Western education for them to contribute meaningfully to the development of the society.
My message to people in this, or especially in Nigeria, is love. To love one another, to respect one another. Respecting each one's view, it will bring peace and tranquility to the nation generally.
Some of the participants could not hide their joy for witnessing this year's Maulud celebration successfully. Medical doctors who attended the event advised Muslims to learn from the noble prophet to live a healthier lifestyle, saying a healthy living was one of his qualities. The event featured recitation of the glorious Quran and other religious activities such as Diwan and Al-Burda. A prayer session was thereafter offered for the sustainability of peace and stability across the state and the nation at large. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
Those are the trending stories from here for now. Nationwide continues in our Abuja studios. Stay with us.
Many thanks, Ladidi. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has approved the appointment of CSP Benjamin Hundeyin as the new Force Public Relations Officer, PPRO. CSP Hundeyin, a seasoned communicator, holds a Bachelor BA in English Language from Lagos State University, an MSc in Legal Criminology and Security Psychology from the University of Ibadan, and a certificate in Civil Military Coordination from the Martin Luther Agwai International Leadership and Peacekeeping Training Center, Jaji. He is also an associate of NIPR, a member of IPRA, and an associate of CIPM. He has previously served as PPRO Zone 2 Command Lagos, was part of Nigeria's contingent to the UN peacekeeping mission in Darfur, Sudan in 2020, and was administration officer at the Force PR Department, Abuja. Until his new appointment, he was the Lagos State Police Command's PPRO. The IGP has urged him to deploy his vast expertise in strengthening police public relations. In a bid to fulfill the mandate of employment generation in Nigeria, the Nigeria National Directorate of Employment has flagged off the second phase of the Renewed Hope Employment Initiative in Kogi State. Halima Babali reports that the first phase was flagged off nationwide in December 2024, with more than 33,000 unemployed Nigerians trained.
The National Directorate of Employment has remained committed to equipping unemployed Nigerians with demand-driven skills to become employers of labor and wealth creators. Director General of the agency, represented by the Kogi State Coordinator, Ochimana Ilebaye, congratulates the trainees, urging them to utilize the opportunity.
We have over 500 participants from Kogi State, yes.
I want them to take this training very seriously because it's going a long way to help them.
The initiative plans to train for 1,307 persons across the nation with a period of 1 to 6 months in 30 different skills ranging from vocational, entrepreneurial, agricultural, ICT, and public works sector. At the end of the second phase of the National Directorate of Employment, 14,457 beneficiaries will be settled with the starter pack to help them establish themselves in the chosen fields and with certificates of competence presented to them on completion of the training program.
NDLEA is empowering them to be able to start a business of their own so that to be able to sustain them and also alleviate poverty in the society.
And I hope that this program will give me the skills I need, at least for me to stand alone and be self-employed by myself.
The Renewed Hope Employment Initiative aligns with President Bola Tinubu's administration to promote economic growth and elevate poverty. In Lokoja, Harima Babali, NTA News.
Benin is next on our lineup on Nationwide, and Udwak Achibong is standing by to bring us the next set of reports.
Welcome to Benin. The National Orientation Agency, NOA, in Ondo State has organized a one-day stakeholders forum to enlighten the public on the renewed hope policies and agenda of the federal government. The initiatives are designed to drive the repositioning and overall development of Nigeria. At the forum, emphasis was placed on the administration's commitment to initiating and completed people-oriented projects across the country. Abiola Ario reports.
The town hall meeting was a platform to sensitize religious leaders, traditional rulers, civil society organizations, trade unions, paramilitary agencies, youths, and market women. It afforded participants the opportunity to interface with government representatives and also ask pertinent questions on areas of doubt. National Director of Civic Value and Democracy Education, Dr. Kemi Olusoya, listed 5 thematic areas to include government programs, flooding and disaster preparedness, as well as national security, emphasizing the need for collective dissemination of information on the policies and programs of the federal government to their respective institutions and communities.
The NOA is also looking at ensuring that Nigerians are patriotic citizens through what we call Nigeria Identity Project.
We have our roles to play, so if we play our roles very well, government plays this role. That is the essence, the whole essence of the value charter we are talking about.
The attendees expressed gratitude for the sensitization, stating that they now have better understanding of the various programs of the government, promising to cooperate and play their parts in nation building.
Until the government work with CSOs, before the people can actually see the renewed hope agenda as non-political.
They are woken us up again, that we should really understand the effect of drug abuse.
The meeting participants underscored fostered a sense of ownership and collaboration between citizens and the government. In Akure, Abiola Rio, NTA News.
The move to achieve a cleaner and healthier environment in Edo State is becoming reality as the state government procures new sets of equipment for the State West Management Board. Goodluck Enani reports that Governor Monday Okpewelu handed over the equipment to the board.
Becoming the cleanest state in Nigeria comes with lots of sacrifices. It is in the realization of this status that the state government has put in place measures, including the mandatory monthly environmental sanitation, where citizens participate in cleaning their surroundings. Now, the state government has stepped up actions by providing heavy-duty equipment, including bulldozers, low-bed truck, and tractors to enhance the operational capacity of the Edo State Waste Management Board. Governor Okpewelu, at the inauguration, disapproved the practice of renting equipment, emphasizing that his administration is committed to long-term investment that deliver value to the people.
We have not borrowed money from anywhere to buy this. We use Edo money to buy it, to work for Edo people. So I pray that God will give you the energy, the wisdom to manage this equipment for Edo people.
This remarkable consistency clearly demonstrates your love for the people and your request to prioritize our environment with a vision to make Edo State the cleanest healthiest and most environmentally friendly.
Stakeholders say state government interventions in the environment sector mark a significant step in the administration's resolve to build a safer, cleaner, and more efficient Edo State. In Benin, Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Chineye will be back in Abuja for more, but that will be after the break. Please stay.
Thanks for staying on. As AI continues to transform industries and economies worldwide, Nigeria stands at a crossroads. Can AI be harnessed to drive growth, improve governance, and enhance the lives of Nigerians? These and other pertinent questions took center stage at the inaugural Soban Media Services Colloquium, themed AI Policy in Nigeria, Navigating Opportunities and Challenges for National Development. Shehu Mohammed Dati reports.
The panel discussion focused on insights and recommendations from industry experts and thought leaders on harnessing the potential of AI to drive Nigeria's growth, innovation, and progress. Speakers noted that AI has rapidly evolved from a nascent technology into a powerful force expected to contribute $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030, reshaping industries, economies, and global governance.
We have about 6 to 7 key sectoral legislative instruments in Nigeria that are relevant to AI, but they are not directly, AI related, but they serve the purpose of different sectors for which they are of relevance today.
Artificial intelligence has immense potential in how Nigeria can develop as a country.
We have developed the draft national AI policy and strategy. And the essence of this is to provide a framework on how artificial intelligence should be viewed in Nigeria.
From revolutionizing healthcare and agriculture to enhancing our economy and public services, AI offers a new frontier of possibilities.
Discussions of this nature are vital in laying the groundwork for a robust and forward-thinking AI policy. In Abuja, Shehu Mohammed Dati, NTA News.
To promote transparency and accountability, the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PETAD, has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, in combating corruption in the administration of the Defined Benefit Pension Scheme, DBS. A statement by the head of corporate communication, Olubenga Ajayi, the MOU between the two institutions provides a legal framework for collaboration in monitoring, investigation, and preventing corrupt practices within the DBS pension system. It further says, leveraging combined strengths will significantly enhance the capacity to detect and prosecute corruption-related offenses in the system, which is in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda. Following the significant growth in Nigeria's solar energy capacity, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, has developed draft regulations on net billing that will enable solar energy users sell excess power to the national grid. NEC notes that the expansion reflects the increasing adoption of renewable energy, particularly in rural and off-grid areas, driven by government initiatives and private sector investments. The draft regulations is sequel to stakeholders' requests for the Commission to explore the possibility of implementing a net metering arrangement, enabling the export of excess power back into the grid for commercial value. The Commission calls for inputs from the public on the draft net billing regulations between now to 26 September 2025. Leveraging the zero export tariff for products from Nigeria to China, the two countries are very close to signing a memorandum of understanding to have Nigerian aquaculture products exported to China. This came to the fore when the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, received the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Yu Duntai, at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. Chukunonso Nwabueze reports.
The visit, Adegboyega Oyetola said, underscored the growing recognition of the marine and blue economy as a critical driver of sustainable growth and the bedrock of the Nigeria-China strategic partnership. The ministry affirmed Nigeria's commitment to deepen its diplomatic relations with China, especially in marine resource management, port development, and capacity building.
Your maritime, domain has developed over the years. We're just starting our own. I mean, this ministry was created barely 2 years ago, so we have a lot to learn from you. So I'm glad you follow up with your team on areas of mutual cooperation.
With the capacity of creating 170,000 jobs for Nigerians and generating about $360 billion in its 45 months concession period, Ambassador Yu Junhai said the success story of the Lekki Deep Sea Port project under the Belt and Road Initiative and the upcoming agreement between the two nations in the aquaculture subsector demonstrated China's readiness to harness more investment opportunities in Nigeria's maritime sector.
I think we are very close to the signing of an MOU between our two countries to have Nigeria aquaculture products export to China. That will promote the export of Nigerian products to China, and that will contribute to the job creation in Nigeria.
The meeting, which coincided with Ambassador Yu's one-year anniversary as Chinese envoy to Nigeria, provided an opportunity for the two leaders to reiterate their commitment to building on the strong and cordial relationship. Chukunonso Nwabueze, NTN News.
And Nigeria and the People's Republic of China have expressed interest to collaborate in humanitarian affairs and poverty reduction. This was during a courtesy visit by the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Yu Dunhai, to the Minister of State Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu, in Abuja. The minister, while acknowledging the good intentions of the Chinese government in partnering the ministry, expresses Nigeria's eagerness to learn from China's experiences with areas of collaboration to include skills to wealth training programs, capacity building for frontline workers, and prompt response in humanitarian assistance to vulnerable populations. The Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Yu Dunhai, expressed his country's willingness to share expertise with Nigeria and gave assurances that the Chinese embassy is ready to partner the ministry to achieve common goals. The fight against cervical cancer has received a fresh push with renewed commitment from partners to protect more girls against the human papilloma virus through vaccination. Hakimat Aliyu reports that this was the focus as the FCT Primary Healthcare Board convened its quarterly HPV Technical Working Group meeting.
Over 8,000 women dying from cervical cancer annually in Nigeria. The one-day meeting in Abuja brought together key stakeholders, including representatives of the National and FCT Primary Healthcare Boards, UNICEF, JSI, and other development partners.
But as of today, this is September, we have been able to reach 53%, of this target. So we still have some work to do.
Discussions focused on scaling up HPV vaccination as the FCT assessed progress towards the 69% target.
And I'm happy to tell us that for FCT, we're able to vaccinate 15,446 girls, which gave us 53% out of the 69 target from national.
Partners also reviewed spot check findings and unveiled strategies like HPV Green Ember Initiative and integration with the Measles Rubella campaign to expand coverage. Stakeholders pledged stronger collaboration to fast-track the elimination of cervical cancer as a public health threat. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliyu, NTA News.
Addressing the decades-long underdevelopment of Nigeria's oil-rich South-South region, took center stage in Abuja as the South-South Development Commission held its inaugural board meeting. The commission, newly established under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, is tasked with reversing years of infrastructure neglect, youth unemployment, and environmental degradation. Ekene Ndulue reports.
It was far from just a ceremonial gathering, as chairman of the South-South Development Commission, Chibudom Nwuche, set the tone with a bold message. It is time for action, not promises. He thanked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for setting up the commission, calling it a strategic move to address decades of neglect. Nwuche said the commission is now armed with a clear mission to spark inclusive growth and drive sustainable development where it is needed most.
We have been tasked to come up with solutions to the problems we deal with the region. Consequently, there's a need to engage in constant dialogue with the state and local governments, community leaders, youth groups, women's associations, and other stakeholders to ensure that voice of people inform every stage of our work.
The chairman warned against personal agenda, insisting that only impactful, well-planned projects will see the light of day.
We must engage in viable projects in the region. Our approach to procurement should reflect global best practices and be based on the Procurement Act and other extant guidelines.
With the board now in place and expectations running high, the real work of transformation begins. The people of the South-South region will now be watching closely, hoping this commission delivers on its promises. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
As the gap between the rich and the poor widens, many believe that the current economic situation has effectively eliminated the middle class. However, a simple mobile act has been identified that can have a profound impact on bridging this gap, addressing security challenges, and making the world a better place. Do you want to know what this noble gesture is? It is the act of giving charity. As the world commemorates the International Day of Charity, spiritual leaders have reiterated the importance of embracing this act to make a meaningful difference. Ramatu Abdullahi reports.
Years after her passing, the world continues to remember the legacy of Mother Teresa, particularly her charitable efforts to assist the poor. The International Day of Charity commemorates her relentless work.
For human existence, not just survival, we need to demonstrate charity. The one you love, you will actually prove it. People do say, a friend in need is a friend indeed.
A society where charity is adopted, people tend to coexist harmoniously. Why is that? The rich are able to give out to the poor, and the poor will feel that sense of, belonging.
Religious leaders emphasize that giving charity promotes peaceful and harmonious living among people. They highlight that this act can be performed by individuals of all ages and social statuses and is capable of addressing many of the world's challenges.
Everything begins from the family. So let parents teach their children to share what they have. You cannot share at home. When you get out, you will not share. And then when you build compassion in the heart of little children, when they grow up with it, they're going to show the same thing to other people.
Giving out is very, very important in Islam, and it helps somebody to increase his wealth. It purifies somebody's heart. The peace of mind that you are receiving when you are giving out, before it drops in the hands of the poor person, it has dropped in the angel's hands.
Charity, they say, begins at home and can take various forms, such as offering a smile, uplifting an emotionally distressed or sick family member, or reaching out to neighbors and children in orphanages, especially those who need support during these challenging economic times. Charity is, no doubt, a powerful way to make the world a more inclusive place for everyone. Ramatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And next on our lineup is Sports Update with Gift Judge as our guide.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria will try to revive its World Cup hopes when it takes on the Amavubi of Rwanda come Saturday, 6th of September in a crucial World Cup qualifier at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo. Nigeria is currently fourth on the Group C table with 7 points from 6 matches, while Rwanda is second in the group with 8 points, and Nigeria's rival South Africa top the group with 13 points. On recent form, Nigeria drew its last World Cup qualifiers by 1-1, while Rwanda has only lost 2 of their last 6 World Cup qualifying matches. On head-to-head, a total of 7 matches have been played between both sides, with Nigeria winning twice, Rwanda with 1 victory, and 4 draws between them. Both sides desperately need a win to keep their World Cup hopes alive. The match is slated for 5 p.m. Nigerian time on Saturday. Now to women's football. Head coach of Nigeria's under-17 girls football team, Bankole Olowukere, has invited 30 players to camp as the team kickstarts its preparations for the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup taking place in Morocco. The team is made up of 3 goalkeepers, 9 defenders, 9 midfielders, and 9 strikers. The Flamingos, who got a bronze medal in 2022, beat South Africa and Algeria to qualify for the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, which will be featuring 24 teams for the first time. The tournament will be played across 4 venues in 2 cities from October 17th to November 18th, 2025. The invited players are expected to report to camp on Sunday, 7 September 2025. To volleyball, Nigeria's under-18 girls beach volleyball team have remained unbeaten at the ongoing 2025 Africa Beach Volleyball Under-18 Development Cup in Banjul, Gambia. The duo of Pamela Bawa and Ifechukwu Odo began their campaign with an impressive 2-0 victory over Tunisia in their first game, followed by another impressive performance to get a 2-0 victory over Egypt, also by 2-0. Nigeria currently lead the group with 4 points, followed closely by Egypt with 3 points. The Nigerian team is focused on not only winning the championship, but to secure the tickets for the 2026 Africa Youth Olympics in Senegal. The tournament serves as qualifiers for the Youth Olympics. With Sports Update, Gift George, NTA News.
And that is it on Nationwide. We thank you so much for being a part of it. I am Chinenye Mwoye. Happy Eid-el-Maulud.